Good morning, Ken Small, 4630 South Arville. During one BOC meeting around February or March of this year, I decided to take apart a history of events of a situation in order to explain how it's darn near impossible to handle a situation properly given the shenanigans that have transpired to get the district to this point. I'm not going to go back into that situation to explain it all over again because there are so many others just like it. It's a waste of time to review an old one except to show the continuity of shenanigans. It was recorded. Have a listen for yourself. So here we are again with another situation where so much underhanded CCSD nonsense has gone to get us to this point that it seems that honesty and fair dealings won't get us a good public explanation of why the district wants to do this thing. Here are a few thoughts on the half-truths you and the BOC have been fed to get you to this point. One, Karen Gray's article, which I'm sure you read on npri.org, is actually spot on. These are not really needed, and just for the reasons that she states, you can understand that 3 of the 4 are not needed based upon the district's own overestimated projections. 2, however, the CCSD statistical analysis used to come to this conclusion is a sham. You should hear it. And there is really no need for any of the 4 schools at all. Naturally, I'm not allowed enough time to refute the presentation to the BOC that you never heard, but you should call for it today. But suffice it to say that staff simply refused to track the current data of the last day of school because they fear that it would show a downward trend line in student enrollment from the figures from the first day of school to the year just ended. Suffice it to say that they announced that they do not accept that any children are leaving in the mass exodus of U-Hauls that has been widely reported and therefore have not been included in the equation, even though on increasing population trends, that data is included. 3, CCSD also refused to take into account the number of unoccupied homes in the valley. 4, the Trigg School site was reported by the BOC to have utilities to it already. Apparently the board was told only half the truth again. It is only the street that is absent, and facilities has decided that it would rather give another $1 million to who Mr. Gerner calls the prototype architects cartel than to pay for a street at about the same cost. 5, don't believe the half-truth that some are told. Another government agency might get this bond money if CCSD doesn't build these schools. Actually, if you believe that to be true, then the best use of the money is to buy land at today's fire sale prices. I ask for 5 minutes, please. I'm speaking on 5 items. Thank you. Obviously, that would position future kids to...
I appreciate that, sir, but I'll let you know if that's okay. And did someone recognize Mr. Small for 2? Thank you, Trustee Young. 2 more minutes, please.
Thank you. Obviously, that would position future kids to avoid the monstrous bus system with its impact on cost and wasted time and money. 6, tell the truth to people who mentioned the NAACP at the last meeting. Tell them that facilities decided to go from 2 prototype schools to 4 in 2005. So there's no school to replace the portable city in their neighborhood because facilities has to follow through on CCSD's land acquisition shenanigans and architect selection process shenanigans. From 2005 to close the door on another set of inexplicable events that it has to get away from. You may believe, as I do, that the enrollment is falling, and the reason why CCSD is building is that its own land acquisition department can't even legitimately explain why it owns most of the property that it has. Then you probably think that school bids came in really cheap, and it is because local workers need jobs. Then come out and admit that is the honest reason and go ahead and construct the schools based on the honest reason instead of the lies and half-truths that have been put forward to you and the public. And just vote to construct them. As they are shown, unmodified, not postponed. At least make this decision and stand honestly for a stated reason. Meanwhile, because everyone on the CCSD staff knows how underhandedly things are being handled and explained, facilities has another problem. They can't fire anyone, no matter how egregious their offense, for fear that they will speak out. After all, they might say things like, the purpose of the modernization department is to provide substandard schools for poor and minority children. Well, the purpose of the new construction department is now to provide unneeded schools for unbuilt neighborhoods. And the problem of too much knowledge in the facilities department is leading to zero discipline. This is the root cause of why things are so inexplicably screwed up. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Trustee Edwards.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve, I just need to get to my note, 4.01 through 4.06, recognizing that we've pulled 4.04.
Do I have a second? Second by Trustee Moulton. Trustee